Today we're going to go from this to this with the AVLT monitor desk mount. With so many monitor mounts on the market, I wanted to make sure I could find one that could support my configuration. I have a 38-inch ultra-wide curved monitor, a pretty hefty thing. This AVLT monitor arm does just that, supporting 13-inch all the way up to 43-inch monitors. It also supports a weight up to 33 pounds and has a damn near full range of motion to get the exact positioning you want. Now, one of the appeals about this stand, it actually has two USB 3.0 slots at the bottom of it. We'll get into more into that later, but a very cool feature to have. Now, one thing to note here, my box is damaged, and this happened during shipping. I've read in the comments on Amazon that a lot of people had these issues as well. We're gonna wanna make sure we have all our parts before we go ahead and put it together, because some people were missing parts, but hats off to AVLT that they sent those parts to those people that needed them. And we'll go ahead and see if we got all our parts in the box here as well. Alright, upon opening up here, we got our information as well as our user manual. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Now we can see right here we got a list of all the parts. We're going to go through and make sure that we have everything here and we didn't lose anything during shipping. Also has the assembly instructions below here. Looks fairly straightforward. Let's go ahead and lay all these parts out quick. Taking a look here quick at the bottom dock before we put it together. I just want to make sure what this inside looks like, so if anybody has any questions, you'll know what we're looking at here. It's very straightforward. You just got your cables that come out and those will plug into the computer, or in my case I'm going to plug one into my PC and then another one into my Mac. And you got your microphone and audio out cables as well. Let's go ahead and pop this plate off on the bottom here and see if we can actually easily change these. So as we pop the plate off here, the cables do fall out right away, but what's good about this is it will allow us in the future to upgrade these cables should we need to. Very handy. Alright, taking a quick look at the swing arm here. I'm quite amazed at the quality of this. This is actually some heavy duty metal on here. And you do need that when you're supporting such a heavy monitor. Now this is our cable management system here. By looking at this, it looks like it's going to be hard to fit all those cables through there, but we're going to have to try and see how it goes. I suppose they assume most people are only going to have a couple cables, but that is not the case for me, but we'll see how it goes. Upon completing my inventory check, I do have all the parts, so that's good news. These screws will be for the VESA mount, should you need them. My monitor actually has some screws inside of it, so we won't need those. So let's go ahead and start putting this thing together here. We got the bottom plate that's going to attach to the bottom of our dock here. So mount to the desk. Theoretically, all the parts and tools that you need will come with this. As you can see here, these Allen wrenches do have a Phillips end on them as well, but you may want to use a regular Phillips screwdriver, as it is kind of hard to use these tools once in a while, but everything's included that you should need. We'll go ahead here and get our padding on our dock so it doesn't scratch our table up. Very simple, sticks right on there. Let's go ahead here and see how this thing looks. Doesn't look too bad. Very straightforward here. We're going to have to take and put our tension plate on the bottom here so we can tighten it up to the desk. And there's 3 holes. We got to figure out which 2 we want to use. This depends on the thickness of your desk here. It's very simple. They just screw out and will tighten back down into our desired position here. And this plate here will just rest on the top of these 2 screws. Yes, it's a little wobbly, but once you tighten it up, you shouldn't have to worry about any of that. This is heavy duty metal though, so I will give it that. Okay, we'll put it here in the first slot. And that seems to do it for me, so I'm gonna go with the first 2 holes. And we'll go with that position there. Alright, let's go ahead and unplug my Mac here. We'll take the monitor, get everything unplugged out of the back here. Yes, I do have a big wad of cords. This monitor basically serves as a hub, if you will. And that's what I like about this monitor. It's going to be even better with the 3.0 slot here down on the arm. But let's go ahead and clear all this all out and we'll get it set up here. I'm gonna go ahead here and try it on the right side and see how it goes. We may have to move this. I'll go ahead and tighten it down here. Let's go ahead and take the arm, and these two screws are gonna have to be somewhat loose so we can swivel it on here. But this will just go down like so, and we'll just tighten it up just a little bit. And let's pop on our upper arm here. Again, this can really only go together one way, so you can't really screw it up, folks. And I'm using the supplied Allen. This is a flathead to tighten these up. And there we go. Just like so, moves down. We're gonna have to adjust the tension on this, and once we get it figured out where it needs to be. There are two tension spots we'll need to adjust. This one here in front for the tilt. Once we figure out where we want it, we'll have to give it a nice snug fit here. And then there's also one in the back here by the swivel. Positive and negative is marked here so we know exactly which way to go. This is just a counterbalance mechanism. If you take your monitor off, it's gonna spring back up on us. We also got our VESA mount here. This does 175 mount. Of course, we got it marked here as top so we know which way to stick it into the arm. It'll stay in there, it won't come out until you push this tab and then lift up, so it's a good secure feeling for your monitor when you have it sitting in there. Of course, as stated before, it does come with screws with both threads and some washers if you need them. My monitor actually has screws on the back here, so let's just go ahead and pull these out, and then we'll put them on the VESA mount. Again, this goes without saying, let's make sure the top is with the top part so we don't screw that up. And this sits in here quite nicely. Line up the holes, and then we'll put our screws in. Get them snugged up here a little bit. And now we got the fun part here. We're gonna have to take this monitor and try to get it on the arm. It was a little tricky for me. My head got in the way here, but I did get it eventually. And now we can see here it needs more tension on that swivel part in the back there. So we're gonna go ahead and tighten that up. And now remember, as we tighten this up, it's going to take less and less effort to lift the monitor because it is the counterbalance. And one thing to note here is when you do have this monitor where you want it with the tension, if you ever take the monitor off, remember that arm is just going to spring up on you. So it's just something to be aware of if you ever take your monitor off. And there we go, pretty effortless to move. I definitely love the cleanliness of the desktop here. Don't have that big stand sitting on the bottom. It's off center. So I'm gonna have to get things rebalanced here. And I gotta say, not too bad. But now we got the fun part. We gotta go ahead and try to get these wires ran through this arm. Taking the plate off here, remembering which way it goes. We're gonna have to run these wires on both sides of the screw holders here. This is gonna be a pretty tough thing to do, but we're gonna go ahead and try it. Of course, we gotta take the bottom one off here as well. All right, the first thing I'm gonna do is run one of those USB cables that came with this stand back up to the back of the monitor, because that's gonna allow me to use the Thunderbolt for my Mac. I'm gonna go ahead and save you guys the painstaking process of me watching me put all those cables through that cover. It was hard. I was not able to get everything through there. It was jam-packed. I got a lot of inputs on the back, as you can see here. I also had to move the stand to the left side of my desk because some of the cables just weren't long enough to reach all the way over there. That is the downside to this arm. I will say that right now. Not enough cable space. It's ridiculous to try to run all that through there. I had a hard time with the ones I did, and then oh man, I still have more yet, and it's just, there's no way the rest was gonna fit through there. So I ran it on the outside. Does it look like crap? Yeah. But other than that, I really love this arm. Its positioning is so nice and fluid. It's got easy up, easy down. Very, very nice and sturdy. Again, having that clean desk space is very, very nice. Yes, it does rotate. If you were going to run this in a portrait screen, if you will, it does rotate all that way. I'm just making sure here that the cables ain't going to go on me, but you know, this is insane to do this even with an ultra wide in portrait mode, but it is possible, which is just insane. Look at that. Let's go ahead and do a USB test on this and see what kind of speeds we get. I got a PNY 128 gigabyte USB 3 thumb drive. Stick that in here. Again, this is running to the back of the monitor and then back into my MacBook through the Thunderbolt. Let's do a quick test here of that. and not too shabby. We're about getting the speeds we should be. So that is very, very nice. So overall, I really love this, ladies and gentlemen. You can get fine tuning for positioning your monitor up, have your desk down lower. In my case, I got the up desk. I can have it sit lower. I can have the monitor higher, keep my head level, not getting that neck strain. Very, very nice. Here at the bottom, I have one for PC, one for Mac. Makes it very easy to go back and forth. If you're looking for an arm, you got an ultra wide or a heavy monitor, I would suggest checking this one out. This is Dan for Up for Review.